the practitioner, legal practitioner.
Okay.
Tata. Mostly fighting for rights zabantu. I'm practicing civil litigation mostly, which deals with some of izinto edila nazo rights zabantu.
Okay.
Yes. So you have invited me here too, and then I suppose my call here is to educate abantu bakuthi nge-rights zabo.
Okay.
Yes.
No, ndiyabulela Tamchuzana, ndiyabulela. Ndivumelekile phofu ukubiza ngolo hlobo.
No, ungandibiza nakanjani.
Uzosayina idlo, uzosayina ba wethu. Undikhumbuza.
I don't have a problem.
All right. Undikhumbuza ikhona lana nsikiculayo it be bright in the corner where you are, be bright in the corner where you are, where you are, where you are, where you are. Bofuna usalandela nolandela.
Andiyazi lo yazi. Yona uyiloza.
I know sisonke ke hlo no akho ngxaki baphula phone. Abaka Facebook guys, hello family. We are here with advocate Nonkelela. Uzosifundisa uzoshayina kule kona akuyo. Andiyazi bayiphi le kona kuyo. Ndizawiva kwalapha kuyo. Buti uchila into nokubana usebenza emthethweni. Uya legal person. Zininzi into ezenzeka ku legal ntontoni, uninzi namagama asetyenziswayo. Ndandilandela la case ka Oscar. Ukhala ngo eventual dolis eventualis dolis and ikhona umnye dolis ngombili expose
dolus
dolus
ventualis
dolus eventual. Okay,
ibe dolus directus.
Wow, mama kodwa noka ndidanga kakhulu.
There are three other things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because his intentions is direct intention. Dolus directus, direct intention. Dolus eventualis, eventual intention. Then he made dolus indirectus.
Okay.
So indirect intention.
So namhlanje sithetha ngedolis direct. Okay, why? But ilena ibi directed siyenza ngamabomle. Into yangamabomle. Bhuti masingene masikhole kuyo hle awiza ukhawuleze phela. Masingene kuyo mntakwethu. Kodwa ke ndifuna le ndawo.
Yes.
Kudala ndikwazi. Wawuli police.
Yes.
Not a senior policeman. You're a junior policeman. And ndiyazi bango kwezitana zintoni sergeant, don't constable, but you're a junior policeman. That was few plus minus 10 years ago.
Yes.
What made you decide to leave that profession for this one?
Amongst other things, what I can tell you is that I started law before I joined SAPS.
Okay.
So when I was starting, parents, you could see parents, yes, they are trying and we are a lot. They have to support a number of us. And maybe within the parents, you could see that one is putting effort to make sure that the abandoned are successful, but another is not playing part as such. So I decided to go and to leave school, to drop out at school, to go and work.
Okay.
And then after pursue my studies whilst I am working, so that I can finance my studies myself without depending on parents.
Okay.
So that's why now I dropped out and then I went to join SAPS.
Okay.
I didn't go directly at SAPS. I started with insurance, but I could see that insurance was involved. So I couldn't study whilst doing insurance, but I'm not necessarily saying others can't do it, because some have succeeded whilst they are working as insurance.
Okay, not
yes. Yeah. So then I joined SAPS because SAPS was related with law. So now it then gave me that burning desire to complete my studies because SAPS is law, and
okay.
I dropped out at the second level.
Okay.
So then I continued with my studies whilst I was at SAPS. up until I succeeded.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. No, we begin. But the thing is, asikwazi uba singazibuzi into ezinje.
Yes.
Ujongekile nje apha ebusweni, you are a young man.
Yes.
Very young. Now, nabantwana ababukeleyo sifuna into nokubana beve so that they can be inspired.
Yes.
So that babone into nokubana nobusuka phi andisafuna uba sibe sangena kwi-background but so ibekile i-background yakho uba kwakusenzeka ntoni kwanyanzeleka udrophe uthini to sustain yourself, even your family. Yayibona. So lezo zinto ezo zinjalo siyafuna into nokubana before sidadele enzulwini siqale qala sikhuthaze. We need to motivate. Yes. So I hope you are comfortable with me asking such a question personally.
Because it inspires youth. Youth might know that you can be whatever you want to be. It's solely dependent on yourself.
Okay.
And that's what I told myself. I can be an actuary. I can be anything on planet Earth for as long as I have a burning desire, because I also believe that there's no one who's clever and who's not clever. But we differ in how quickly we understand whatever we are being taught.
Okay.
So my belief is that any person can be whatever he wants to be.
Okay. All right. One thing, Amanda, no. You are like fine wine, maturing with time. No. Nesingese sakho no sichubekile hlobeni benimincinci. Ukucela kwami bengekho shonga wena. Imagine uze wireless uzokhala ngo I booted. That is unbecoming. What do we seek to sithetha ngesiphethe rough namhlanje? Road accident fund. Masiqale kule ndawo.
Yes.
Ngale gathering okanye ngale meeting okanye ngale interaction ngale conversation. What do we seek to achieve?
In this conversation, we seek to achieve one, to educate our people as to their rights in relation to various matters which are to be specific, particularly in relation to the road accident fund. There are a lot of complaints and quagmires which emanates from the claims of road accident fund. So we seek to educate our people as to what is it that they can do in various circumstances in relation to their road accident fund claim. So here we are going to tell them what is this road accident fund, and then and to tell them about their claims and more.
All right.
Yes.
No, thank you, my brother. Hey, isilungu sibeke silingini quagmires. Alulivelo gama ehlo quagmires, but it's fine. So namfuna ndiqiniseka uba ndinyusa isilungu ke hence uzawumane undiva ke ndisifaka pha isingesi sam. Perhaps you understand. However, phendula lona umbuzo olandelayo. What is road accident fund?
Road accident fund and abaphulaphuli beKing's FM. Road accident fund is a fund which was created. Is a fund and institutions was created in terms of Act 56 of 1996. However, there were previous acts which were regulating the fund, but currently it is regulated by the Road Accident Fund Act 56 of 1996. The fund seeks to ensure drivers on the road. So if I may expand as to how does it ensure drivers of the road?
Yes.
So it seeks to ensure mistakes which are done by drivers on the road.
Okay.
For example, if the accident was not as a result of a fault of another driver, then the road accident fund does not pay. For example, if you hit a stray animal, you are involved in an accident.
Yes.
Due to that, you hit a horse or a cattle or sheep, and then your car ended up rolling. Then the road accident fund enters nowhere.
Okay, but I need to ask you this question.
Yes.
Because technically, and I know into nobana xa nise court ke ngoku nibeza nibeke imicimbi yento bana objection. awunawuzukwazi uobjecte xa ngaba u-road accident fund esithi asizukwazi ukucompensate for le nto. Ndandirayithi na kwensense compensation.
Yes, you're correct.
Because ubuwedwa okanye utshayisele loo nkomo. In fact, masingayifaki inkomo.
Yes.
If I come with a story ndisithi ndithe ndisiza ndahlangatyezwa yenye imoto, so ndazama uphepha yona, ekusungeni kwam the car overturned, ayingohit
as well as the road accident fund. But what I was trying to tell the listeners as well as you is that if the fault is not as a result of another driver, because based on what you have just asked, is that you are saying another driver came and disturbed you.
Yes.
And then based on your story, then the fault is that of another driver, although that driver is not identifiable.
Okay.
So the issue of identity is not an issue per se.
Okay.
But for as long as the story you are telling is that it was the fault of another driver.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Andifuna uya ke kule nto because ikhona enye inkunkuma apha eyifriend yam ethe xa biyibona into nokubana sizabe siphethe lo mcimbi yathi kum uzusondibuzela into nokubana aba bahlatywaza inkomo phaa kwamawabo umntu abeyosenga then azithatha ayobekwa endleleni kuthiwe utshayisiwe phaya. I-repercussions zokwenza loo nto.
Yes, I get you. No, what happens is that people are tempted to defraud the road accident fund, and that is not acceptable. And the road accident fund, they do have investigators.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you are telling a story which is
okay,
somehow there will be loopholes and you will be caught. And it would be nice now that when you have already received these millions and then you are driving these cars or you've built whatsoever, then hawks or investigators come and then you are then caught having cheated the process. It won't be nice. So I advise people not to be tempted to go that route. If you are not involved in an accident, don't attempt to claim to the road accident fund, because there are investigators. The road accident fund has its own investigators, private investigators.
Okay.
Who, when there are claims which are suspicious, they investigate those claims.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who is covered under road accident fund? Who is covered? I understand. You only mentioned drivers. Hence, I'm asking. I don't want to lead you by talking about passengers and all that. Who is covered?
Yes. Back then, we were talking about the fault.
Okay.
It must be the fault.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. In fact, yeah, that's the thing with that's the problem with you, legal practitioners, because now, technically, you potentially one, and you are all over me.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Now back then we were talking about the fault, but the fault must be of another driver, not the cow, not the horse, not not sheep or goats or whatsoever on the road. You must have the accident must have been caused as a result of another driver. Then now you're asking who's covered under the road accident fund?
Yes.
Passengers or on the vehicle, pedestrians, drivers.
Okay.
Yes, I think those are people who are covered. Because these passengers or on the vehicle which has caused accident or has been involved in an accident, maybe both vehicles collide. but the fault was one of the drivers. So both passengers who are on the vehicle, even those who are on the vehicle whose driver was found to be at fault, are also covered because they are just passengers. They were not driving.
All right.
Yes. I've already alluded to the fact that even pedestrians, people who are walking, maybe crossing the road, but people at least must observe rules of the road, because there's this thing of crossing anywhere on the road. People are not supposed to do that. There are four-way stops, there are robots, but people, they just cross on the road anywhere else. And then Road Accident Fund looks at that even when you are claiming as to your fault even as a pedestrian.
Okay.
So you may find that your claim was supposed to be 1 million. I'm just making an example. But if now you are found to be at fault a bit because you didn't cross where you're supposed to cross. Hence, I always say to people, I so wish people can know the rules of the road, even if they are pedestrians, to understand that if you got knocked by a vehicle whilst you are crossing anywhere on the road, then the Road Accident Fund will be tempted to reduce your claim.
Okay.
Yes.
Keep ngesi radio. Xesha ngoku 23 minutes past 11. But this is mouthful. I didn't know into nokubana ku-investigatwa even the pedestrians. I thought once nje utshayiswa imoto, then izinto zakho amarherhe bakho boom unikwa izithonga zakho ume ecaleni uhambe uyothenga iPajero zibekho ndiphume ecaleni.
It's not that easy.
Okay.
These claims, they go stages by stages. So I advise even people to be careful when they are pedestrians on the road, to open their eyes, not to cross on the road anywhere. They must look at the robots, because you'll find in other towns, people, they do cross the roads whilst robots are still red. They must wait for robots to be green and then cross whilst robots are green on their side, so that when it comes to issues like these, like the Road Accident Fund claim, they are not found now to be at fault.
All right.
Yes.
Before moving to my next question, still on this, I hope umbuzo wami will understand.
Yes.
Now, you said one of the technicalities ezijongwayo, a major technicality, one, was there a second driver involved now who might have caused you to? Yes. Now, let's say I'm a passenger, you are driving, I'm in your car. There's no other car that is involved. What about me as a passenger now?
Maybe you didn't pick up to, I even made an example when I said it may happen that two vehicles collide as a result of a fault of one of the drivers. That's it's two vehicles. One was correct, driving on its lane, and then another one veered off its lane and came and collided. Maybe the driver slept or was eating pie or something. So he ended up losing control of the vehicle and then bumped with another vehicle. So you understand that that person, although that driver was at fault, he was carrying passengers there.
Okay.
So to answer your question, passengers are not at fault. Their driver, who was driving for them, is at fault. So they are covered under the Road Accident Fund. So even if the vehicle was just a single vehicle on the road and then it rolled as a result of that driver. So even if there's no second vehicle involved, so those passengers are covered.
All right.
Yes.
My question, my next question is a period from the date of the accident to the duration. How much time do I have before not reporting or lodging a complaint?
A claim.
Or the claim, sorry, not complaint.
For you to lodge your claim to the Road Accident Fund, this issue of lodging your claim is twofold. One, there's a case where that driver who's at fault is not identifiable. For example, a hit and run.
Okay.
Yes. So in that case, you have only 2 years within which to lodge your claim.
Okay.
the road accident fund. But if that driver who is suspected to be at fault is known, for example, it's not a hit and run, the vehicle which caused accident is known, that is vehicles with registration number so and so, and then it was driven by so and so. So then in that case, you have 3 years within which to lodge your claim.
Okay.
Otherwise, if your claim is prescribed, then in that case, you don't have a claim. You can no longer claim. Then another interesting thing I want to just highlight too.
Yes.
Is a case when you go maybe to a hospital, and then when they look at you, they say no. You do you understand? We've recently alluded to the fact that you have 2 years within which to lodge your
Yes.
claim, and then you have 3. That's when the driver is unknown.
Okay.
Then, or the vehicle is a hit and run, which is the vehicle is unknown. But you have 3 years when the vehicle is known and the driver is known.
Okay.
Yes. But now you go to hospital, and then at the hospital they look at you, and then they say no, there's nothing wrong with you, and then you goes home. And then after 5 years, you now start developing issues, be it headaches, be it spinal cord problems. You see, now when doctors are investigating, they find that no, you sustained injuries in that accident, but it's 5 years now.
Okay.
And then we said you had 2 years or 3 years.
Okay.
You see,
and the injuries date back 5 years ago.
5 years back. Now it now transpires that actually you sustained injuries there back then, but doctors of the hospital or clinic, wherever you've been, or your private hospital, did not pick up that accident. So what do you do in such a case? So it should be another question.
Okay.
In that case, who's at fault?
You.
Can you guess?
I think it's the Department
of Health.
Yes.
If
you went to the hospital, yes.
Hospital,
yes. I guess.
Yes, it's the department. But if you were seen by your private doctor, then that means the person who's at fault is your private doctor.
Okay.
Yes. So now you have to direct your
claim.
Your
okay,
millions,
now. Okay.
Your
okay.
millions,
To the Department of Health.
Department of Health. If you were seen by a public institution.
For this, what do we call it? Medical negligence.
Medical negligence.
Okay. uyabona
I know, but they're
Ebaphulaphula, Nani, you can interact, ask your questions on Facebook, Keith Ngese Radio. Write your question. Sizakwazi uba ubhuti asinabisele le nto ayi-unpack ngolu hlobo ufuna ngalo. On YouTube siyavela futhi Keith Ngese Radio. Even on WhatsApp, and inamba ka-WhatsApp ithini ngoku yaske yaflash. In fact, ngexesha ndisazama uyicinga le namba ka-WhatsApp ndizawuza nayo. Now, i-question yam elandelayo ithi, in fact mandiqale kule yayisuka kum ke le. What happens to the claim that was lost by a firm of attorneys and the person, meaning that the claimant, passes on?
Yes, it depends, Joe, on what stage the claim was at, and if there's what we call close of pleadings. Even when you are suing another person, Joe, if pleadings are closed, then that claim can even if you pass on, that claim can no longer can said to have ceased because you have passed on, because pleadings are closed. What are pleadings? Pleadings are the exchange of papers, which is the papers we exchange, because it's like you issue summons.
Okay.
You first issue what is a letter of demand or a statutory notice, or you lodge your papers, whatever case is. Then you, after having issued summons, then if it's road accident fund or it's the Department of Health or whichever person or organization you are suing, it then has to file their plea, which is a response to your claim. And then after having filed their plea, then you may file further papers. So if that process of exchanging papers has completed, then your claim, if you then pass on after that process has been completed, then your claim will proceed even if you have passed on. But if pleadings were not closed, then your claim ceases to exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy. I'm not sure. Ibibuzwa ngumlibo ke lento nozulu. I happy into nokubana I hope nxibe nguhappy ngoku. I hope you are comfortable with the response. If not, then ndizawubona ngayo apha futhi nayo on display. Uyibuza okanye follow up question on that one. Now, what are the pros and cons of claiming directly from RAF? True lawyers.
Or true lawyers.
Yes.
Yes. So from the question you're asking, Chum, we can infer the fact that it is possible to claim directly at RAF. Yes, that is true.
Okay.
It is also possible to claim, to pursue your claim, which resulted from an accident, through lawyers. Then now your question says, what are the pros and cons of claiming directly at RAF?
Okay.
Or
yes.
through lawyers?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I left the or, but yes, I left the or part. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So a person can choose either to claim directly at RAF or to claim through lawyers. Then we'll go as to what are the pros and cons. Yes,
so in simple English, what are the disadvantages and disadvantages? Yes, that's simple English.
Yes.
The problem now comes out too much. All right. All right.
Okay, so with you. So the advantage of claiming directly at RAF, I will say, yes, it has some advantage because there have been these things that lawyers are not paying people what was paid by RAF, so they are chowing people's money. Yeah. So there were those claims, but I want to give our people some confidence to say it is no longer the case. It's not that I'm not saying there are such lawyers who does such things, but there are. I will allude to the fact that there are safeguards now, things which someone can do if his or her money has been chowed or eaten by the lawyer. So in that case, there are safeguards. Then they will allude to that fact. Okay. So I can give people some confidence to say, at least you can follow certain routes to then pursue your money against the lawyer. You see, so there is an advantage of claiming straight to RAF because now your money will not have to go via lawyers. But now let me go to disadvantages of claiming straight to RAF.
Okay.
June, let's say in your accident you suffered head injuries. You will require a neurologist,
okay,
a specialist in which deals with brains and stuff like that. Especially even if your spinal cord is involved, then there will be orthopedics, and then there will be a neurosurgeon as well because there are nerves there in the spinal cord. And then orthopedics are also specialists which deals with bones. So there are also specialists which deals with, let's say you then had to retire from whatever you were doing. If you were a teacher or you were a lawyer, you had to stop working now.
Because of the injuries.
Yeah, because of the injuries. Maybe for a certain period or forever. Now you cannot go back to work.
No income.
Yes. So there's a industrial psychologist which then deals with the issue of the damages you have suffered as a result of losing your employment or a certain period you did not go to work. You see, so that specialist, which is the industrial psychologist, deals with those damages. And then if maybe you have also suffered emotional trauma, you see, now as a clinical psychologist is another specialist which will be required. So all I'm trying to allude to by listing a number of specialists, yes, is to say, when now you are claiming straight to the road accident fund, will the road accident fund take you to all those specialists for them to justify that you're supposed to be paid maybe 20 million? I'm just giving an example.
Yes.
It's them who are going to be coffers of that money. Can they justify their money to the maximum? No. I don't want to appear as taking sides in this issue.
Yes.
You see, but I'm just leaving that question for anyone to ask.
Who's listening? Yes.
But I don't want to appear as if I'm against the road and self fund and stuff like that.
And quite obviously, I cannot afford a specialist because I do not have the cash.
That's true. That's true. So hence now I will go to the pros and cons of claiming directly through a lawyer, which is advantages and disadvantages of claiming through a lawyer.
All right.
So when you are claiming through a lawyer, one, the lawyer, the disadvantage are that there is a possibility, although there are safeguards, there is a possibility that the lawyer may not give you your money, but there are safeguards. Now there's a legal practice council. You can report a lawyer to a legal practice council, but let's go to that as and when we arrive there.
Okay.
Yes. But now let's say there is that possibility, although there are safeguards now. It's no longer like before. It was difficult back then. Hence now the legal practice council came into existence, which is called LPC. It's in Berea here in East London. Each and every province has its own Nansiga branch of the legal practice council. It regulates the legal profession as a whole.
Okay.
Attorneys and advocates, they account to the LPC.
Okay.
So then we'll cross that bridge as and when we arrive there.
As and when.
So now let's go to the advantages of claiming through a lawyer. I've counted quite numerous specialists, which depending on the injuries you have suffered and the heads of claims you are claiming, you may be claiming loss of income for the period you have not been to work whilst you were undergoing surgery or you were hospitalized, or you will not go back to hospital at all. So you will claim loss of income then. You will claim a loss of income, and then past medical expenses. You will claim future medical expenses, and then you will claim that's what we call based on the actual injuries. You can claim we even alluded to the fact of emotional
damages,
emotional trauma. Yes. So that requires a psychologist, which is a clinical psychologist, not an industrial psychologist, because an industrial psychologist deals with the work-related damages, which is the time you have lost without going to work. And then all those specialists too, as I have listed them, I've already spoken about neurologists, the
orthopedics,
yes. And then there are a number of specialists too. Physiotherapists, you see, there are also radiologists, which they analyze now, look at the
Matambos,
yes, the MRIs, the scans, the X-rays. They look at those. So all those specialists, they have to be paid. Who pays them when you are claiming through a lawyer?
It's the lawyer.
A lawyer pays it.
Okay.
I know of some colleagues who have paid up to 500,000. Specialists, specialists pursuing cases for clients. You see, they are paying from
their own pockets. Okay.
So when you are claiming directly to
with the hope that
there's a risk here.
Yes, there's a risk. With the hope that
the claim will succeed.
Yes.
And I will not allude to the fact that they sometimes
lose,
fall away, and then that risk, who pays that risk?
It's the lawyer.
The lawyer pays that risk. So now is the question that when you are claiming directly to RAF, is that possible? It's a question. I'm just posing a question.
Yes. Is it possible for you to be able to pay all those specialists? And you know, sometimes you'll find that because of the scarcity of skills, you'll find that there are only 2 neurosurgeons in our region. I would say, let me say region.
Yes.
There are only two.
Yes.
Then you have to travel.
Yes.
To the other provinces.
Mostly, we hardly get specialists who are available within our region. Most of them, people. I remember my colleagues. They used to fly clients to Johannesburg. They used to transport clients to Durban, PE. For example, I remember at some stage in one case we were looking for a neurologist. We had to find him in PE. You see, the one who's doing medical legal reports, because it must be someone who is capable of doing those reports, which are then filed in court papers. So not all specialists they do those medical legal reports. Some people within their practice they say, okay, I will see patients. I will also do medical legal reports.
All right. I like the way you are so careful with your words. Just because you are a lawyer, you're so careful with your words. But it's fine. It's fine. Do you have another thing to say before moving? I've got another question.
No, I think we can proceed.
All right. My next question is, how do I trace how much was paid by RAF for my claim or not the lawyer? And if the lawyer has given me the right amount?
Yes.
Okay. How do I trace that? Yes. Let's say RAF paid, let's say 20,000.
Yes.
And the lawyer gives me 500 rands.
500.
How do I claim?
Okay.
How do I trace that?
Okay. Yes, you can trace that. The Road Accident Fund is a very much accessible office.
Okay.
Since it is a government entity, if I may put it that way.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I may say it is accessible. So hence it is even possible to claim directly through it, although we have alluded to the fact of advantages and disadvantages. But you can easily contact the Road Accident Fund or visit their nearest office and then inquire as to your claim. But let me also clarify this issue too. If you are claiming through a lawyer,
okay,
you know, most, I'm sure even if your career is elsewhere, you may have heard about the power of attorney. Okay. The power of attorney. A power of attorney is something you sign where now you are giving powers,
okay,
of whatever you are supposed to pursue in your case to the
lawyer,
your legal representative. So when you have signed that, RAF will say you cannot interact with me directly whilst you are pursuing your case.
All right.
Yeah.
Before moving, do I have an option of not signing the power of attorney but still give you the case?
No, CHUMA. What I was I was trying to say is that whilst the matter is still being pursued, you won't be able to interact directly with RAF because that power of attorney, because he will tell you that you have given the mandate to your lawyer.
Okay.
But now when your case is done,
okay,
now when your case
now.
is done,
Yes,
you have
okay,
been paid.
okay.
You see, now the issue of power of attorney
It's not applying anymore.
Not applying anymore
because the case has. Okay.
Yes, the claim
Okay.
now is done.
Okay.
Now you can be able to knock
yes.
knock at the door of RAF and say, RAF, Qaphela attorneys
Yes.
was
I like the sound of that.
Maybe your son will be a lawyer. So Majola attorneys was
Yes.
doing this claim, and then how come now am I paid this five? We've said 500.
Okay.
Yeah, but at least you should have said millions. At least 500,000. So then the RAF will be able to then look at their system
Okay.
through your ID number
Okay.
and check when was your case lodged, and then when was it finalized, and then how much was paid out
Okay.
to you.
Okay.
And they will tell you even if they are, because they are head of damages. Head of damages are various claims. For example, I told you about loss of income. I told you about past and future medical expenses. So those things are maybe claimable differently, not like on different time frames.
Okay.
If I may put it that way. So the lawyer may first pursue only general damages. General damages, they deal with pain and suffering. Then after general damages, they will claim your past and future medical expenses. It's a different head of damage. They will claim your loss of income. You see, so they will tell you all those that your lawyer has claimed this, and that, and the whole amount which was paid was this one. You see, so the issue now of power of attorney does not apply because now the claim you were told by a lawyer that now
everything has been settled.
Been settled. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can knock at the office of RAF and then verify as to how much was paid. You can even make calls if they are certain as to that you are the correct person who should inquire in respect of the claim. Then they can give you that information after having verified that you are the right person who's supposed to inquire about the claim.
All right.
Yes.
Now, Dinayo, I've got a follow-up question to this.
Yes.
But before, I want to put your head on the block on this one.
Yes.
This is Keith Ngese Radio. We are with Qaphela, and my guest today is Advocate CHUMA NONKELELA. I want to put your head on the block now.
I have alluded to the fact that yes, and it appears, hence now there's this Legal Practice Council. It appears that it was easy to do it back then, but now I will tell you that the Legal Practice Council has closed that gap, but not to say it cannot happen. But whoever is doing it, the LPC will be after that person. I won't mention names, but there's a well-known case.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a well-known case which has been to various mediums where a lawyer took money for various clients, many clients. So if you follow that case, you will see that now the Legal Practice Council is doing their work. It is not like the business as usual like before.
Okay.
You see, so now at least hence I've said now when you are doing your case through a lawyer, at least there are safeguards. The Legal Practice Council is not sitting on their toes, like in this issue of the money being charged by lawyers, but not to exclude the fact that it is possible.
Thank you, Advocate.
Yes.
My next question. Ndicela uphakamise isandla sakho sangasekunene uthi ndincede Nkosi ndithethe inyaniso. Ndicela uphakamise isandla sakho sasekunene uthi ndincede Nkosi ndithethe inyaniso.
That's an old.
Yes, yes. I want you on record. I want you on record because I've got another question. Baphulaphula ndinombuzo for Advocate. So I want him to understand that he was under oath when he was responding to my next question.
Can I ask you one question before I proceed with your question?
Yes.
Who's the commissioner of oath? Is there a commissioner of oath? Are you a commissioner of oath for me to take an oath before you?
All right, fine. All right. Okay, fine. Listen.
I can answer the question, but not under oath because you are not a commissioner. The person now who's putting me under oath is not a commissioner of oath. So will that oath be binding on me? It's a question.
Oh, I've been speechless with how you make me feel. Better 10 must move.
No, you can ask a question for
all right,
listeners' sake.
All right, fine.
I can take the question. Unfortunately, too. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
It also, I like the question because it is going to enlighten our people as well as to how the legal profession operates.
Okay.
We have already alluded to the fact that I'm an advocate.
Yes.
So an advocate, they don't deal with clients directly.
Ooh.
So
that I didn't know.
Yeah. So
okay.
No clients comes to me too.
Oh.
I am advocates. Let me not say I am.
Okay.
Advocates are specialists in giving advice.
Just like doctors.
Yes.
You first go to, okay, just like doctors.
Yes.
Let me cut you there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Please,
please, my apologies.
Yes,
Pardon me. Pardon. I beg yours. Just like doctors.
Yes.
For you to go to a specialist, you don't just go to a specialist.
Yes.
Your GP refers you.
Correctly so. Okay. Correctly so. Because for clients to come to us,
okay,
for me to deal with a case of a client, it is referred by an attorney,
okay,
to an advocate.
Hey.
Be it for an advice,
okay,
to look at the issue whether is it a winnable case or not a winnable case. So we do draft advice, opinions, memorandums as to how the case should move. What is it that must be done in relation to the case? And then we are expert, so let me say advocates are expert in researchers, in research. They are experts in giving advice. They are experts in drafting papers. So for papers to be drafted, yes, attorneys, they do these things, but advocates, they specialize in these things.
Okay.
You see, even arguing in court, they specialize in arguing in court.
Okay.
You see. So if you are going to take the route of being an advocate, you must know that you like research, you like writing. We write a lot. We write out bene konse sandling. Kubhala. Utubene konse sandling.
I-problem ke ngoku xa ndidila nawo kaloku umuntu wasezilalini isowuthi ubhala uthi ubene konje ziphi laptop phone silapha ngoku ndiyayazi uyi-end user ke wena ukho kwezaa zinto.
Yes, no, I'm also using laptop to draft my papers, but you will consume more time if whilst you are sitting with 10 or 20 books before you.
Okay.
And then you are taking one article from that book, one case from that book, one thing. So if you are typing, you better make your document like first in manuscript. And then when you are done making it in manuscript, and then you now
transfer to
transfer to a laptop. If now you have a secretary, you just give whatever you have written in manuscript to your secretary.
You're talking big. You're talking big. I can't believe one word. sasihamba ngeveni yakho mntakwethu uyi-unknown entity nje emphakathini and now sothetha nge-secretary nee-manuscripts. You're talking big, my brother. I remember unibalisela about i-achievement yakho now that uyi-attend sincokola le nto. Ndisakhumbula noba ndathini, and you said, no, Joe, I did not take the route I
of
took.
being an attorney, yeah.
Oh.
So with us, as you have made an example of doctors.
Okay.
Doctors, they become general practitioners or medical officers before they become
specialists. Yes.
But for legal practitioners, it is not compulsory to be an attorney before you become an advocate. You can go. It
is not compulsory.
It is not compulsory to be an attorney.
Okay.
Yes, before you become an advocate. So you can go straight and be
an advocate.
Well, from school.
What? 3 minutes to 12. 3 minutes to 12. Yeah. Are there any remedies available for a lawyer who has not paid what is due to the claimant? I think you've alluded to that.
Yes, that you can report that person to the Legal Practice Council.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just in your Google search Legal Practice Council is called LPC.
Okay.
Then in your Google, it will easily tell you their offices here in East London. As I've alluded to the fact that I think they are in Berea here in East London, their offices. So you can report to the lawyer there, and then they will pursue the case. And as I've said, there's this well-known case, the LPC has made its name there in that case because they followed that case. And I think now it is on some final stages, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just came across that LPC has worked hard in following.
So you are saying I can even walk in at their offices?
Correctly so. People they are going there.
Okay.
On foot. You can email them, but I believe that going there in person will make your life easier than emails and phone calls and stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're only left with 1 minute now.
Yes.
And we have a comment here. All right. Nangu umihle Jack. Umihle I wonder uhleka ntoni lo mntana Nkosi yami. Hello Mihle. Hello girl. Sinaye apha noChwaita. uChwaita ukhona into ayithethayo apha qha ndizama yayazi nam ndizama uxhakaxhaka ihlo. Uthi very Chwaita. Uthi uChwaita ngumzala wam by the way uChwaita. My cousin. Uthi very informative. Bayakhumsha koChwaita. Ngabantwana bo hello. Duh. Ukho wahlala nabantwana chuma.
Abafunde kwi
abantwana jonga ngabla If so thetha nabo mhlambi u-excited. I'm sorry to use this language, but nje xa mhlambe bedibana esandofumana i-boyfriend entsha so bayesela itshomi zakhe yo tshomi then we met kwathini akakafiki le ndawo end up because ngabantu aba-end up hayo mos uyawaphelela apha itshomi izolo no tshomi ndi-end uphe ndihamba masiphelela apha behambe nabantu but u-end up xa seyibalisa ke ngoku yo tshomi sadibana izolo weza wazondibona endiphathele ii-wings ezibabayo nee-chips ntontontonto yo tshomi our first kiss I was like gosh do it again good morning girls ngedrama xa sezikhumsha ixesha lisikile mntakwethu. Do we have anything to say umzekelo what would you advise for to someone who wants to pursue the law career?
If someone wants to pursue his or her career as a lawyer, you must be a patient person.
Okay.
As you've heard that when you complete your degree, you don't just go and work. You have, if you want to practice privately, you have to go the route of law school. Then after law school, law school is 6 months if you go full time, and then if you go part time through UNISA, then you can I think it's 1 year, and then there are articles after that. Articles are a period of 1 year, and then after, then you will then be a professor. You will then write board exams. So you
in board exams.
Yes, so-
Accounting
so we said after the degree it's law school, and then after law school is articles, and then you have to write your board exams. And that board exam, those board exams are not easy. You can take a period of 2 years trying to pass those board exams. So you must be a patient person if you want to pursue this law career. So it's not easy, and it requires someone who's passionate about it, because it's not easy to just pass and be working as a lawyer. But what is interesting about law too is that it is diverse. It is diverse. You can be a prosecutor. You can be yes, prosecutor. You can be a legal advisor of a municipality or a department. To be a legal advisor, a degree and then a bit of experience, I think, is required. Yes. So even if for legal advisors, these routes of going to law school and going to do articles and stuff like that, they are not necessarily required. If you have an LLB degree and then some sort of any experience, then you are taken as a legal advisor. So there are a lot of things too. You can be an advocate, as I've alluded to. You can be an attorney. You can choose other routes. There are a lot.
All right.
Yes.
Puti, thank you very much for your time. It's 3 minutes past 12. We've gone way past, not way past, we've gone past our time. Thank you very much for coming.
It's a pleasure too.
Ukuza kwakho, I'm sure, because someone once said, if you are meant for 1,000, 100 people won't listen.
Yes.
So out of the 10 people who are listening,
yes,
if you've touched or changed one life,
yes,
be content.
No,
go sleep. Thank you very much for my brother for making time. When I asked you for this interview or for this conversation,
yes,
I said we can do it online, but you said to me, no, my brother, not when at Qaphela. Now,
yes,
I'll be traveling all the way from Tata,
yes,
to your studios.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Put. I'm not taking that gesture for granted.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Put.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Where are your offices in Mthatha?
In Mthatha, I have been under my mentor at Metropolitan Building, but now I'm planning to shift to then open my own office. Because now you have to be with your mentor for a certain period up until at least financially you are stable, and then now you move now and open your
So by mentor ndirongo xa ndithi ubuqhuba kubhalwe u-L kukho umuntu olapha ecankwakho.
But not necessarily, because in that case, whatever blunder you have done, then it means that person is liable. But in my case now, I am independent. Whatever blunder I'm doing, I will have to account on my own. Yeah, my mentor was only covering for that time. I was still under training. I'm no longer under training now.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Baphulaphuli, thank you very much. This is the end of our show. Thank you very much for listening. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you. Till we meet again. We'll meet on Saturday next week. Date will be on the 24th. I'm not sure, but it will be Saturday. Sinetinga again. Kuzabe kumandi, but one thing I want us to always remember is that what is in the past cannot be fixed. What is now can only be experienced. What is next can be created. Let us make something of our lives. Be the soul where you stand. And I thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye, goodbye. It's time for me to go. Kukhawundilandele CHUMA. Goodbye, goodbye. Khawulandele bra. All right. Okay man, faki kwitsho ke mntakwethu. Ngunothis phomo duke nenkomo zam. Jona sebethu phangele bhayi.
Ndoyika uba tyho ndithi ndisawulandela la magwijo and then ndifumane i-letter from the Legal Practice Council kuthiwa you have you have embarrassed the profession. So
In fact, kusetyenziswa sasingezi sithi you put the profession into disrepute. Oh, suka chuma uphilanga bra. Asambe sigoduke siye mambondweni. Ikhaya la andikwazi ucula but singacula mina ngifuna ucula vele. Ngiyacula nje and anytime ngifuna ucula I just sing.
But the thing is the so kwa umoshe studio sakho andikhaleli yabo ngoyilo zakho.
Ngosiya ingase ngafaka ne-chorus ke. Hayi andimbonanga. Hayi andimbonanga. Uyabazi go sisters. Awu siyabonga Nkosi yamakhosi. Farakosha i-girls xa sezimkhethela uyesu vele uqonda kangena onkosi. Inkosi siyabonga Nkosi. Guys, baba yini ndiyarhalela ungahambi but I have to bounce. Gotta bounce now. Isingese sitsho these days bro I was such I'm leaving. Don't say we are leaving, we gotta bounce.
Sifunde ongcongolo high school, ongcongolo senior secondary school, so if nina nifunde kwezi ke kuthethwa ngena nsika kuthiwa kuthetha ngantoni
ngamahana. Yes, you know, no RPQR, you know, I was going to the river, you know. It can't be going to the river, it has to be going to the river.
Now what you call exam.
Yes,
so sikhona ke sifunde kweza
ndizitsho
ngamnganam ndizimasdibane pha enaskeni emablankeni ndizakubetha neso silungu sakho esiphuma ngamarhanana ngexesha ndibetha ke GSS yabo so
phela mama kuthiwa ngunasi unaledi phando. Hayi wenza kakhulu la mama wenza kakhulu. Guys uJalan sithi papa yini nyani ke ngonyani true pop ndiyahamba kumgqibelo ningalibala lokho sinedinga 11 to 12 ndon KNR 11 to 12 guys kuzaba mandi bekumandi nangoku. Unansika uyamthanda ukumkani unansika ndizawuhamba nyani baphulaphula nyani ke ngoku uyamthanda ukumkani ukumkani lo wanansina
ubuyele
ekhaya.
I assume the reason why I'm asked this question is solely based on my hairstyle. I don't have a problem with our kumkani.
Yes.
I love the chap, but my hairstyle is inspired by Jay-Z.
Oh, unsongo Jay-Z.
Yes.
Uyakwazi urap
Financially.
Oh yeah.
Hey, uthini ke ngoku uthini uba ukwazi urap financially uthini chuma?
My hairstyle is inspired by Jay-Z.
Ndivile le ndawo fundini.
Jay-Z inspires me to be where he is financially, not
financially.
Yes,
oh.
not what he's doing. Like his music. I'm in the legal fraternity, so I cannot sing, I cannot rap, but his success is what inspires me.
Okay. Are you married?
I'm not yet married.
Wow, ulinde ntoni chuma ulinde ntoni nje ungatshati?
Ingxaki ndoyika kuthiwe athe buza umakoti uba uphi kuthiwa nanku esatshaya i-hocker pipe. okanye usawuthenga i-vapor.
Intoni leyo ngoku? Yazi hocker pipe liba nala mibhobho mnyatsabamba ngabe intoni leyo?
But ikhona lithengwa kuthiwa i-e-cigar or something like that.
And yes,
yeah, it's something small, but it gives sort of effect, and flavors and stuff like that. So
okay.
Now there are a lot
last
of
questions. Last questions is last question. Nyan.
So I'm looking just to complete the question. I'm looking for that for umfazi.
Oh,
I'm not married, so kind of ngoku uthatha anyone then xa ethi umamazala ufuna umakoti kube kuthiwa usengasebuhlantu usagqibezela utshaya.
Okay.
I understand.
With many Valentine's message. If yes, ngicela unike phone yakho ndiyifunde ndiyibone message besithi happy Valentine. Ndifuna ubona uba undisave abana ndizoyifunda.
the answer I may give there is
Oh, amagqwetha ungabi nanyani. Usakhangela ngoku uzawuxoka uthini? Because you're going to lie.
No, that question may put me into trouble. So I rather reserve the question, the answer.
Oh, Piwe. Come on. Let's go. Let us go and praise the Lord. Let us go and praise the guys. Papa yin nyan ke ngoku. Papa yin ixesha ngoku is 12 minutes past 12. Kwiwebholeni ngoku siya estadium ngoku dlala iChippa United neNantsika Cape Town City. Yes. Unalo ticket?
No, I have a friend here in East London called Chu, who invited me here.
Oh,
For me to be entertained, so I'm dependent on him. So I suppose he's got my ticket, and he's going to make sure that I won't dwell much in that, but I have an answer, but I choose to reserve my answer. But I know that some people will know, some people will know people.
Makisihambise ebholeni bra. Because andiyazi into oyithethayo. Phi uya ebholeni? Phi ndiyabuza uya nebholeni. Na uyahamba? Let's bounce ke guys.
Komeke kuye futhi.
All right. Guys, masidibane nebholeni uba ngaba awunansiki kodwa masibe busy afternoon is a Saturday guys, must relax and bye. Gotta bounce now. Ndifuna ufaka ingoma into nayo. Phiwa ndikwazi ucofa ingoma. Ndifuna ingoma. Qha ndiyazi uba ndizayifumana phi. Before sihambe ngicela ufaka ingoma ezawundenzisa ndenze ivosho. Guys, I love you so much. Let us love one another. Bring about peace. Let us be inantsika. Masibe ngushukela kwindawo esihlala kuzo. Masithandaneni bafethu, please. I love you so much. Bye.